In 1975, in fact May 1975, the Whitlam government signed the Lima Declaration, a declaration which was going to see First World nations, and we are one of those First World nations, to help the Second and Third World nations to get into manufacturing. The vehicle used for this is the so-called free trade agreements. While the plan to actually help the Second and Third World nations to develop industry within their country was not a bad plan in itself, the manner in which it was done has destroyed the lives of many people in this country. As a direct result of that, BHP Newcastle no longer produces steel. Ford Australia no longer produces cars. Holden Australia no longer produces cars. And the list goes on as our manufacturing after our manufacturing businesses are closed down. We all know that we used to produce a lot of clothing in this country. That is all gone. The processing of raw material essentially happens offshore. As we dig holes in the ground and win the material, the raw material, then we export it to a third world country where they manufacture the products that we need. And we have our people in this country without a job. And then we accuse them of being lazy, of being dole bludgers. When we lose a manufacturing industry, we lose work for unskilled, semi-skilled and tradespeople. Sure, some of these people will be able to be retrained. Some of them in that retraining, who actually complete the retraining, will find another job, but many will not. Every one of those people that cannot find a job, what we have done is we have put a knife through their heart, through their soul. These people no longer have the capacity of finding a job. There is no jobs for them. And to make it far worse for them, the Department of Social Security requires them to apply for jobs which they won't get on a regular basis to qualify them for the unemployment benefit to which they get. In recent years, the federal government has talked about the trickle-down effect to try and create jobs, to stimulate the economy. Let me tell you that my study in economics tells me that trickle-down effect will never deliver the jobs which the government suggests it might. The reason behind it is most of the money, the additional money at the top end of our financial earners will actually be spent not in the local community. Much of it will be banked and invested, and often overseas. If you want to stimulate the economy, the best thing is to create meaningful jobs for those people we've taken the jobs away from. They are the most vulnerable people. They are the people that we should care about. They are the people that we should be creating jobs for. A person who has been unemployed for some time who gets a job, they will spend at least 85% of that money within the local community. That is a statistical fact. My research in my study demonstrated that clearly. And that's why I created the concept of the bubble up effect, where you may get 10, 15, 20 jobs created for the currently unemployed people. And they, by spending that money locally, will actually generate new jobs for others. This is the stimulation the economy needs. This is the correction that we need. We need to stop sending our things overseas, stop losing our manufacturing, and create new jobs for these people. And they need to be meaningful jobs. I strongly suggest that we do our best to return many of these manufacturing jobs back to Australia so we can actually again produce quality material with our own people, quality things that we all want. And in doing so, we will not be depending upon slave-like labour overseas. Recently they passed the legislation in the federal parliament, the anti-modern day slavery bill, and yet we still continually purchase material where people are paid a subsistence living to produce material that we want to consume. While we have people in this country formerly capable of doing the work, sitting at home wondering, am I ever going to get a job? Let's help the vulnerable instead of condemning them. Let's get them a job. I'm Milton Kane, Christian Democratic Party. Thank you.